Hey guys, it's Dustin with the Trigun, and I'm here with my co-host Sean Nelson, and we have special guest Chris Cazin on. How's it going, Chris?
Good. How about you guys?
Good.
Yeah, doing really good tonight.
So, Saz, you are the Range Master this year. Is that correct?
That is correct. I have been since the inception of the Trigun.
Right. Okay. Just want to make sure. So you're the bad guy if I don't get a call my way. And we're also going to use you as the guy.
Pretty much where I'm at. Yeah.
And we're also going to use you as the guy to make all the announcements tonight. So anything that we get wrong will be blamed on Chris Cazin.
Yeah, I'm all right with that as well. So let's roll with it.
Awesome. Well, hey, Sean's got a list of some sponsorship here, so we're going to let him roll with that first. And then we'll get into announcements.
Real quick, let's hit our title sponsors, of course, are Nordic Components and Vortex Optics. And we're going to go with our platinum guys this week. Hyperfire, JP Rifles, Luth-AR, and Thunder Beast Arms. We're very appreciative to have you guys here with us.
That's a solid list of sponsors right there. How do you feel about that, Saz?
I'm just super grateful that we have the support of those great companies, and they've been with us for some time, and we hope that they continue to be with us, and we try to do everything we can to push people their way and get them some business.
Hey, we did an interview with Nathan last week, and one thing that kind of crossed my mind was, you guys took over this match from Randy Luth, who is now a platinum sponsor for the match. To me, that's cool to have somebody that used to run the Trigun, which, like the Deltone match, who has now come on and he is a platinum sponsor of something he started years ago. It just seems cool.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that it's come this far, dating back to the original Trigun, and then kind of morphing into years going by with nothing, and then going into the tactical shotgun match, and then now coming back into the Trigun, and kind of having Randy at every aspect of it along the way is fantastic, and he's been there shooting it, and we're just super glad to have him in our shooting community and as a sponsor for the match as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you look at the history of the actual, I guess, the Nordic Vortex Trigun. Some people will be like, well, that's a new match. They just started the Trigun just happened 3 years ago or so. But the history of the match is way deeper than that.
Oh yeah, I mean it dates back to some of these names that that most people these days aren't even gonna recognize as far as shooting these matches. I mean, you're going back to the original Soldier of Fortune matches. I remember when I first started shooting and attempting to get into the original Trigun, we were filling out paper match applications and sending them at the post office next day, so that we could try to get them there on time, versus nowadays where everybody's sitting on their computer just hitting that mouse, clicking away, trying to get into the match. So it was a totally different ball game back then. And to date myself and some of us, so that was before Facebook even existed, with social media where everything's going on today. None of that even existed back then. So we were still sending things snail mail to try to get into these matches.
Back when the postmark date actually mattered.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Yeah, and you guys are still one of the few matches that allows somebody to, instead of paying on practice score or even fill out everything on practice score, they can actually mail everything in. Is that correct, or something like that?
Yep, that's correct. We can still mail it in. One of the reasons that, or one of the partial reasons that we do that is practice score charges a credit card fee and whatnot. So it's the $4 or $5 or whatever it is, that if people don't want to pay that, they can still send a check in and save a couple of bucks themselves. So if they want to pay by credit card and want the ease of slapping on that extra couple bucks for the practice score fee and credit card fee and everything like that, they can. Otherwise, they can send it in. We're fine with that.
That's cool. Let's kind of get into announcements here. Last week, May 9th came and passed. So that was the last day you could actually withdraw and get a full refund. How does that work now, moving forward?
So May 9th. So if anybody that was signed up to shoot the match and wanted to withdraw from it, they could do so prior to May 9th without having to worry. No questions asked. You're out. Here's a full refund for you. Good to go. So after May 9th, the route that we take as far as the refunds go, I know that some other matches will do kind of a tiered partial refund by the dates and everything like that. And from now until the day of the match, if for whatever reason you have to withdraw, as long as we can find somebody off the waiting list or just anybody in general to shoot the match in your spot, we will give you a full refund as long as obviously that person that takes your spot pays. So you don't have to worry about only getting half your match slot back. As long as we can find someone to shoot it, you get everything back.
Right. And I mean, the wait list is, last time I checked, was pretty long. So the odds of you getting a full refund are pretty good, but nothing guaranteed.
Yeah, keep in mind we're getting pretty close here, right? So it's getting tougher for the guys on the wait list to arrange your travel plans. Yep.
Yeah, it depends. Obviously I don't know exactly what the number is on the wait list right now, but I believe last I heard it was 50 plus. So yeah, as far as that part goes, obviously the closer that we get to the match, the more difficult it's going to be. I guess that would maybe benefit some of the local shooters more, or people with maybe more wide open schedules or things like that, or retirees even, where they can just at the drop of a hat be in Forest Lake on those days and shoot the match. But so the closer that we get, it's going to be a little more difficult for you, but still we're going to do everything that we can. I know last year Jomar was making phone calls the Monday, Tuesday before the match started, trying to fill slots off the waiting list. And obviously it sucks for some people that that say, hey, I wish I could have known about this a month ago, but that's just kind of the way the ball bounces, I guess.
Some people are ready to go, right? They still have it where their job is flexible enough to allow them to, the week of, just jump up and run to a match. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out for some people. Hopefully we don't have any withdrawals. That'd be awesome then. But understand life happens. Next announcement, I guess, is May 23rd. That's just about a week away.
Right around the corner.
Yeah. I mean, that's next week, next Thursday. So that's self-squatting, 7 p.m. Central Time. I always like watching this the day. Like sometimes if you're bored and you watch the squatting list change, right when it opens, it's kind of fun to watch people jump on a squad, and then like a whole group of people will jump squads and go to a different squad.
Musical chairs because they're waiting for everybody to get in line, and all their buddies aren't on the same schedule to get signed up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we've just not necessarily the Trigun, but matches that that we've shot in wherever we've had the same thing. We've either had a 10-person group text going or anything like that, and all of a sudden we got 3 guys that that are traveling together that want to get on the squad and only got 1 spot left, and now we're totally jumping ship to the next wide open squad, trying to make sure everybody's can get on there and shoot together.
Right. You never put your cell phone down.
Yeah.
Because you never know if we're about to change squads. So you sit there and you're like anticipating a text to come in, and you jump on your phone or your laptop real fast and change squads.
Yeah. And the pro tip there, of course, is have your squad mom with the link for your match management page and have them just handle the whole squad, right? Or at least everybody you're shooting.
We've been there before. If you got somebody that's got the time to do it, we would encourage that. So obviously we can make any accommodations that we certainly can. But if we get quite a few of them the day of the match, where people come in, register to shoot, and they're like, hey, can you switch me to Freilic's Super Squad? And we're kind of like, yeah, sorry, buddy, you're the 30th person that asked that. There's not much we can do about it. So
yeah, Well, I'm glad you brought up Super Squad. What is going to be a Super Squad this year? Anybody got any ideas on that?
I don't know. I haven't heard. I know I know a lot of the Vortex boys squatted up and shot together last year. So they had a pretty good squad going. We had a pretty good Minnesota squad last year. I know that for sure as well. So it's hard to say.
And let's not forget they call themselves the Michigan Mafia.
Yep, that's true.
That is a super squad right now.
You got Coop and Chip Montgomery and whoever else they bring down from the Yoopers, and see what happens with them guys too.
Dude, they were just all posting. They went into Ohio at their state championship and put a whooping on everybody in Ohio, and they're all bragging about it. So I know they are looking at the Trigun as a match. They want to come in here and do the same thing. So the Minnesota guys got their work cut out for them.
I think didn't Coop win it? Was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
Did he? I feel like Coop has been right there to win it. I don't think he's actually won yet. But
yeah, maybe he didn't. I know he was right there.
I think he was second.
He might have won. I guess we'll have to look at that. But he's up there. Nick Molina's always got a pretty good finish as well. So
yeah,
they got some guys that represent, no doubt.
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting. I mean, for me, being with JP, Matt Kupica is one of our shooters. So I'm always pulling for him. But then again, Jake Latola is one of JP's shooters and one of my good friends in Minnesota. So you're pulling for him. So I feel like as far as JP goes, I can't lose.
No, you're looking at those two guys right there.
Yeah.
Unless something crazy happens, you're probably a betting man's going to think that both those guys are going to be on the podium in one way, shape, or form. So
yeah. I was trying to get Adam Reiser down here to shoot this year. I thought it'd be kind of cool to have Jake, Matt Kupica, and Adam Reiser all in the TAC optic world here at the Trigun going back and forth.
That'd be a fun thing to watch. And I know we got a few people that are coming this year that in different divisions that we haven't had before. I know the Texas boys, between Aaron Hayes and Garrison and those guys, they got a crew coming up. They never been to Minnesota before, so we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, why? Let's break down some divisions here. So we just kind of did TAC Ops, right? So we're just gonna kind of go off of what we have on our head, or like kind of what we have in our head here. Sean's going to see if he can pull some stuff up, but let's look at TAC Limited. Who do you know is shooting TAC Limited, Saz?
Oh, we got Nathan for sure.
Right.
So I mean, Nathan's he's a good buddy of ours. We've shot with Nathan for a long time. I mean, look he's got pain blood flowing through his veins. I mean, what more do you need? So Nathan's always going to be a favorite in the limited division without a doubt.
Right. Then you got.
You have Joe Easter.
You have Joe Easter.
Caltech boys, the bearded squad.
Joe Easter is shooting.
You got Joe Easter coming. He's been shooting very well at a lot of these matches he's been at.
Well, he's shooting.
Never count him out.
He's shooting with true irons this year because he's going to Rifle Worlds, and he's shooting irons. So
okay.
He's shooting with true irons. He's coming off of a pretty big win at the Vortex Shooter Source.
Yep, and he was. I think he was top 3. I think he was in the top 3 at Texas Multi-Gun as well.
Yeah, that guy is that guy's no slouch. Then you got Riley Croft, and he's making.
You can never count Riley out. Riley's been hot. He's been putting the time in this year practicing. Ending last year, he barely edged Nathan out at Fort Benning.
Yep.
So I mean that was when those two going head to head, and that was within, I believe it was either tenths or 100ths of points of the match. So that was a battle for those two. So especially got some young legs too. So
yeah, it's gonna be impressive because Fort Benning compared to Trigun, they're completely different matches. So I don't really look at the Trigun is really like your traditional bay match because, in my opinion, it's not. There's a little terrain, longer range stuff that is in a bay, but the way you guys have always broke down the stages, I just don't feel like it's a bay match. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. We try to utilize the bays as best we can and make it so it's not just a burner bay style stage, I guess, if you want to call it that, right. A traditional bay style stage. So we try to get the stage times up a little bit, try to get some complexity in there, even though the bay itself may not have a whole lot of room to work with.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's where the difference is really going to be between those three shooters. And, you know, if we're leaving anybody out in the limited division, it's simply because we don't have a list in front of us. It's just kind of came out of nowhere that we're going to talk about this. Open. Dude, what's going on with Open this year? Who is it going to be this year? Because is Dylan going to shoot Open when he comes to this match? Because he just won down at the Vortex Shooter Source.
Mm-hmm.
Right. This year Open has gone just kind of crazy. I don't know if Adam Maxwell is going to take some credit for that, but I think even if he does or he doesn't, we probably have to give Adam a little bit of credit as far as open shooting goes, because he kind of started some of this stuff last year towards the end of the year between him and some of the stuff he's done with Dave Hartman on the 3-gun show and whatnot.
Yeah,
and, it just seems like Open has just kind of exploded over the last 6 to 12 months.
So I'm going to give him credit for what I think is going to be called the Open Curious movement. I've seen a lot of that on social media.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and you've seen it sprawl through the Vortex guys. Ruben, seen him with some open gear, right?
Ruben does have open gear, or he has it on order. Like he's
nope.
He's
got his Dissident shotgun now.
There we go.
From Mike and Land. So I think Ruben went from Open Curious to full out of the closet open. So
open committed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at it. Like it used to be, you would look at a match and you would have Josh Freilich on there, and you'd see other people shooting open, but you would just automatically say Josh Freilich's the favorite. You cannot.
Right. I mean, it's been Josh and Jerry for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was the only one. You throw a few. I mean, you can throw James Darston there. You can throw a few of these other guys that have been kind of the long time open shooters before this really started. But now you're getting a lot of guys that are jumping in. One other name that I can't even comment for sure if he's shooting open or not for this match, but another local junior is John Wydell is coming on pretty hot. So,
yeah,
dude, I fully expect John Wydell to be shooting open
at the match.
Yeah,
at the match.
I think he's probably in. We had our first local Minnesota match a few weeks back, and John actually edged out Josh Freilich. So I didn't shoot with either of them, so I can't comment on if it was just a straight up drag race or how things shook out. But
well, I don't want to take anything from John Wydell. I mean, he earned that win there. I know Josh did lead. He did shoot through. I'm not saying that's why John won. John was on Josh's heels last year at the end of the year. So I know he's been working hard this offseason. So I mean, I'm really excited to see what John Wydell. If he's shooting open, I'm excited to see him go against this field of shooters. Mm-hmm. But I still feel like just the dedication, the athlete, I can't even think of the word right now.
The
athleticism of Josh. I just got to still put him as my favorite right now for that division.
Yep, I 100% agree with you. If I was laying down some cash in Vegas, I'd bet on Josh 10 times out of 10, basically. But I think you're right that John's really putting some work in, and he's kind of at that Riley and Dakota level as a junior, where he's got some time where his everything that he's putting in as far as his dry fire, live fire, whatever practices. When you're that junior level, you're that sponge still, where he's probably jumping at levels from the bottom to the top, or whatever you want to call it. He's definitely coming up pretty good for the years that he's been shooting.
Yeah,
we've seen that with a few other juniors as well.
Well, my money's definitely on John Wydell to win junior shooter. I feel like the only way for anybody to beat him at junior shooter is for him to DQ. I don't see anybody out there beating him right now as a junior. So
no, I'll agree with that one for sure.
And then let's get into our favorite division. Sean, you're not included in this, but heavy optics.
Oh yeah.
Sean wants to shoot heavy limited, so we'll let him discuss his division later. But heavy optics, who do we got for that? You, Jomar?
I don't know what Jomar is doing as far as which division he is shooting, being that he had to shoot heavy optics in Texas, although he's been kind of a heavy limited guy, so you never know with him. But the last match that he shot, he did have the Razor 1-6 on his JP 308, so I can comment on that for sure.
Right. And then
I think I'm trying to think of who else. I believe that Robert Strange is shooting heavy optics as well.
Yeah, he's shooting really well right now too.
So I wouldn't. I definitely would not put. I wouldn't put him out of the mix. I'm trying to think of who else.
We have a guy, Bob Sanchez, coming out of Texas. He's coming up with the Texas guys.
Yep.
He edged out.
I talked to him down at Texas Multigun.
Yeah,
quite a bit. So we're waiting around for the prize table, and we had some good discussions about shooting heavy. And he had mentioned that you'd been giving him quite a bit of advice and whatnot, talking and stuff. So
yeah. So he's coming up here. He's got a JP ultralight LRP-07. It's almost identical to my rifle, running a Vortex optic. So he edged out Jomar, I think by 0.5 or something like that.
It was very close.
Yeah. So he's coming up. That's going to be exciting to have him here. Like you were saying, Robert Strange. Who's that? Is Evan coming? Evan Nichols.
So he shot last year. Is he coming this year?
I don't know if Evan Nichols is going to be here. That's going to be a heavy. I mean, the heavy optic division right now is going to be a really good shootout. I'm really excited. I've been debating on if I was going to shoot heavy limited or heavy optic. I've decided to shoot heavy optic, partly just because I got to keep going against you, Saz. And then just looking at everybody's coming up here, I think that's going to be the most competition you can get out of at a heavy match right now.
Well, and let's talk about some of the rule changes that have come in place too with heavy optic division. So now we've got 40 cal.
We do have 40 cal.
We got 40 cal with the magazine restrictions lifted as far as capacity, but were they 140 millimeter?
Yeah.
Still?
Correct.
And 2 shots on paper.
So that's going to definitely keep that division very interesting as far as, are you going single stack or are you going 40 cal? Because single stack 45, that's still 1 shot on paper.
It's 1 shot on AC zone. That's it. So a D is, you have to put 2 on there.
Okay.
So
it's going to be interesting. I know that we have some independent test results done here at some point, and we haven't quite got to that yet. Just we haven't had enough summer in Minnesota, sadly, to get some of the stuff done that we've been talking about. But hopefully we can get some of that done one of these days.
Saz, was that you and I talking about? We were going to take my wife out there and give her a 45 and a 40. And just have her shoot as fast as she could, and see which one she was faster at.
Yep, put an array of targets up, and maybe some steel, some paper. Well, for sure some paper, and kind of a little independent test, and just kind of see how the cards fall when it's all said and done. So because I've been kind of debating, and I really don't have a clue as far as some of these which would be faster. So
right. Yeah, I'm excited to see where that comes out. But then also, your rifle mag is unlimited.
Yep. So in with Magpul slinging up the D50 now, that's a whole different ball game for that as well.
So do you have a D50? I'm just trying to figure out what the competition has.
Working out the competition.
I don't yet, but I know that Jomar does, and so. I have access to one for sure. So,
I have two of them.
There may be one in the cards for me. So,
all right. I was gonna say I have two of them, and I guess I can let you borrow one if you need one.
Chris, I'm gonna go ahead and say don't borrow that gear from Dustin.
Right? Yeah, he's.
Well, let's take it. That D50 is expensive, so I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm not gonna pour sand or anything down.
This might not have a spring in it.
Dude, I don't. I've seen one of those things come apart. I do not want to mess with that spring. So you are perfectly safe to use one of my D50s if you'd like. All right. Well, the heavy optic division seems really fun. A lot of shooters going to be in there. What about your division, Sean?
Being new to heavy limited, I'm just going to go with our local favorite here, Sam Ryberg.
Yeah, Sam's a machine.
Watching that guy work a pump shotgun's been incredible at some of the all shotgun matches. Seeing what he can do there. He took
third last year at the Bluegrass Championship. He beat everybody besides two open shooters. So Matt Kupica was there with his Benelli semi-auto and lost to Sam in his pump.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And when you look at with heavy limited division, the pump shotgun, you're limited to an 8-round tube. You're going to be pretty well made or broke by the pump shotgun. I'm going to say that the next thing in that line is your pistol. Stuck with the 10-round. Those two determining factors. My money's on Sam.
He's been hot. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I mean, my money's on Sam just because you're going to give him the all shotgun stage right away for a pump. There's very few people that can beat him right now, so I'm going to give that stage to him. And then depending on how heavy of a shotgun match this is, he's going to win most stages with that pump. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just I know you got a pump. You got a pump that's been worked over and some stuff done to it, Sean. I just haven't seen you shoot it yet. So,
we'll say the gun is capable. We're not so certain about the shooter yet.
I have to say, you're the only person I've ever seen that can shoot as fast as Sam with the pump. But we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch.
Shoot fast, miss fast.
and all of it while wearing a fedora.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
He's like the most unsuspecting competitor when he comes walking up.
Most people, if they had no idea who he was, they'd look at him and they would just kind of shrug their shoulders and laugh and be like, all right, I don't know, whatever, this guy. And then they'd look at his time and sit back and be like, whoa.
Dude, when he beats you with an M1 in iron sights, you're embarrassed.
And proud all at the same time.
All of his gear together, it's like, I don't know. He has to have not the cheapest. It's just all the gear together is probably one of the lowest priced, right? So you got the M1. What are those things going for? Anybody got an idea?
$1,200.
$1,200?
Yeah,
all right.
Get in that range.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? And
a Nova. So he's got maybe 500 into that, maybe. Mm-hmm. Right? And
What's
then
he shoot for a pistol?
He just picked up 1911 last year, Springfield, I believe it was, because his.
He was shooting some weird CZ 45 of some sort before that failed him. So
I think he bought a Springfield for like $500. So we're talking about a guy that's possibly into this sport for $2,000. Mm-hmm. And his fedora, and he's beating people with, $10,000 worth of gear on him.
Great.
It's awesome. It's awesome to watch him shoot.
Yeah, for sure. And then, I'm not sure if Greg Beslin's coming up this year. I'd imagine he's in.
He's been shooting all the other matches.
He's been heavy limited. And then Steven Garrick, I'm not sure what division he's in or if he's here. But
I never know. Steven is a guy that shows up to match, and he changes divisions when he gets there.
Beyond that, though,
he might walk the stages and figure out what he wants to shoot from there. So you never know with Steven.
Yeah, he rolls into a match with multiple firearms. So we'll find out when he gets there. Yeah, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's all our divisions here.
I mean, lady
that's it for the divisions. Yeah,
lady. I'm not sure.
We've got 9 ladies defined right now. I'm not sure who they would all be.
Well, so unless Lena or Lanny's coming here, my money's going to be on Dakota for High Lady.
Yeah, I know Dakota's coming off of she's coming off some decent matches as well between Texas 3-gun, Vortex shooter source, and whatnot. And then you'd have to think that she's that the rifle stages that she's going to dominate the ladies in those for the time that she's putting in on her rifle right now as well. So
yeah. And she's getting dialed in. She's got a lot of time going into some stuff. She's working with some different triggers over with us over at JP, getting some stuff set up there. So I think any match she goes to, she's going to be a favorite. But yeah, so as of right now, just because I don't know who's on the lady list besides Dakota, I'm going to say it's my favorites with Dakota.
Yeah, I think regardless of who's on that list, I think that she's got a chance of winning it without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
Awesome. So, hey, do you have any stage designs already drawn up?
So we have a couple of, well, I shouldn't say a couple. We have almost about 2/3 of the rough drafts down. We'll try to get out as much as we can when we can. I know that we have a few option stages that anybody that's ever done stage design kind of knows that you can draw an option stage on paper, and when it actually hits the ground, it may not be the same. I don't remember what stage number it was last year, but it was the option stage that I did at gate 3. So it was probably I think it was the second stage in on at the competition base at Forest Lake on gate 3. Mm-hmm. And it had kind of the walls where you had to kind of go back and forth. And that one, from what I had drawn up to mm-hmm. when it actually got on the ground, changed considerably. And I think for the better, but it's just one of those things that you can't really anticipate some of those base style option stages out. So
right.
we got 2 of those right in play right now for sure that are kind of looking at, not really sure how exactly they're going to end up.
Okay. Any trick shots going on? Anything that we can maybe give out to our listeners? Like, hey, why don't you work on this at home? Got anything for us?
Well, so one thing for sure, and I don't know the exact round count, but we're going to do the same format as last year, where we're going to have 9 total stages. 6 of them are going to be multi-gun stages. I don't want to say 3-gun stages, although we try to make them 3-gun stages, right. But some of the option ones might not be. And then we're going to have 3 single-gun stages. And the all pistol stage this year is going to be the highest round count that we've had to date.
Dude, I barely had enough mags last year. Why are you guys doing that?
I may be switching divisions here.
Right. Hey, I know. I'm in the same boat. I'm always in the same boat as far as that goes with single stack mags. More, I got pockets full here in every mag pouch I can imagine. But
didn't you borrow my mags last year for the all pistol stage?
Yes, I did. I most certainly did.
Okay.
So I believe that as of right now, and again, it's subject to change, but I believe that the all pistol stage, we're at like 58 rounds right now for it.
Okay. That's up there.
If you don't miss.
That is up there, yeah. Yeah, if you don't miss.
If you don't miss. So there's going to be, I know for sure there's a star on it, and some knockover 5x5s. So there's definitely some steel. So yeah. I'd probably plan on a few misses for sure. So I don't want to give the secret away, but we're going to be throwing. There's going to be a part of one stage that I'm designing that is going to be a skill set that some people have never seen before, and some of you have probably forgotten it. It's probably not like riding a bicycle. It's
a skill set
that people are gonna look at and be like, "Oh crap, I used to do that."
So I know I'm going to bring this up because I know people are going to ask, and maybe it's too early, but are we anticipating any buckshot yet?
As of right now, we do not have any buckshot. we have some slugs. We do not have any buckshot in the works. I don't foresee, unless somebody throws a curveball in that like totally scraps the stage design and has to go with something with buckshot. Don't plan on any buckshot, but definitely plan on a few slugs. And as people that have shot the match know, the people that don't know is that we use the pipe targets quite a bit for our match as shotgun targets.
Heavy
and
pipe.
We got some heavy thick wall pipes.
Yeah.
So
know your choke.
Know your chokes, know your patterns, and look at the wall thickness of a pipe in the distance and plan accordingly on that.
So, we gonna have another shoot house this year?
There has so we're trying to not do similar stages and whatnot, but there has been talks of a partial shoot house. So we'll see what happens with that. I think that the shoot house stage last year on stage one was a big hit. I don't know. I didn't hear many complaints about the stage itself. So we're going to try to look at possibly doing something somewhat similar yet different. So we don't want to make it so you guys be like, oh yeah, we shot that last year. You moved the targets 3 feet in this direction. So
right.
It's going to be completely different, not at the same location or anything like that. So we'll hopefully get something good going with that, and hopefully all the other stages end up working out like they have in the past. That we haven't heard a great deal of complaints for the most part on the stages that we put out there. Well,
for all of our listeners, Sean and I tried to give you guys some helpful hints, and Cazin was not giving us anything. We will get Saz on the phone later and try again.
Other than to stay on your toes.
If you're shooting skinny mags, find some friends that have some. Borrow some, make some new friends in your division, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. That for sure. Last year, the all rifle stage was 64 rounds. So plan on having something similar to that, and we like to we're gonna have some movement and whatnot. If anybody that has not shot the match in the past, definitely look at not quite Blue Ridge movement, but your heart rate's going to be up a little bit. We're going to make you move around, and there's going to be some spots where you're breathing heavy.
Okay, what about the all shotgun stage? What's the round count we're looking at right now?
Probably, I believe the last I heard that it was somewhere in the neighborhood, but not above 40. So I know we did 40 something 2 years ago, and we don't want to make it. We'd rather have a little bit more movement as far as distance goes than shooting to some extent. So I would say not above 40. I think it was in the high 30s last.
Okay.
That we looked at. So, but again, nice. Everything once you put it on the ground, it's a little bit tricky as far as throwing hard numbers out there. One thing about the range that we shoot at in Forest Lake is that we don't have the luxury like some of these other ranges do as far as setting up, weeks and weeks in advance. There's a lot of other stuff going on at that range, and we just don't have the time to shut the range down for that amount of time to get everything set up that far in advance. So some of the stuff is kind of in the air to some extent until we can get it on the ground.
Cool. Awesome, man. Well, I can't think of anything else to cover. You got anything for us, Sean?
No, not as far as that, but with what Chris just said, big thanks to the ROs and the volunteers that are going to jump in and do that preliminary setup. A lot of that's over Father's Day weekend.
Yep.
A lot of guys sacrifice a lot of time.
Yep,
so
that's correct.
That is definitely appreciated. Make sure you guys thank the ROs and the staff when you're on the ground, too. That's huge.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And I think we talked about one of the previous, I think it was the very first podcast, we're going to try to do everything that we can to make the match more shooter friendly this year. As far as having, a separate over at gate 1 or at gate 3, at gate 3, having a separate area with some picnic tables in partial shade that's going to be coned off or fenced off or whatever you want to call it, so that people can't park there, so that people can hang out there and get out of the sun a little bit and sit down. We're going to have lunch transported over on that end. The lunch that's provided by the Forest Lake High School Trap Club. Big shout out to them for being stepping up every year to cook food for us, and we're trying to give back to them. But we're going to try to get the food over, or for sure going to get the food over to gate 3 this year, so that people don't have to worry about trying to get all the way out of the bays, drive all the way over to gate 2, which is where the main clubhouse is, eat, and then get all the way back over to gate 3 to shoot their next stage on lunch break. So we're just trying to do, a couple of these little things that are going to make the shooters a little bit more easy as far as the logistics go of the match.
I think that'll work out really nice, especially for the guys that are going between stages 8 and 9 in that lunch break.
That's pretty huge.
Right, we understand it's tough to come all the way back from the far end of the competition bays to go eat and then get all the way back in to the far end of the competition bays again and shoot your next stage. And we've got input from shooters that a lot of them just weren't even taking a lunch break, and that's not something that we want. I mean, if people want to enjoy the food, take a little break, get some, not only get the food in them, but also support the trap club that we're trying to help out as well here. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody in that aspect.
Hey, is there going to be, I know in the past, the Tri-Gun's always had kind of a nightlife. We still having that, pizza, anything like that you can comment on?
Yep. I don't know that the exact which day that we're going to do it. I believe I'm trying to think it was Friday or Saturday last year that we typically do it, but we plan on having some beverages for people, and we'll definitely get some pizzas as well at the range there, and hopefully get some people that are shooting the match to stick around, and just kind of that social aspect where everybody's kind of shooting the breeze a little bit. Some networking as far as meeting people that maybe they've only seen on the internet as far as their names, and actually getting to meet them face to face. And we try to put that in it as well.
Cool. Yeah, I know that's always been something that's pretty exciting, and people talk about just kind of hanging out and chatting with people and catching up. And every now and then you hear a really good story about a guy with a hatchet or something. You never know. So it's always fun.
Yeah, I believe it was some type of war cleaver. I mean, it looked like a medieval weapon of some sort. So.
Love those stories. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Really excited for the match. I mean, we're not far away. I mean, we're coming roughly
up
on a month
away. It's
fast coming.
Man, it's getting close. It's sneaking up on us a lot faster than it should be right now. I guarantee that for a fact.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, hey, Chris, thanks for coming on, chatting with us. I really appreciate it. We'll bring you on a little closer again to the match. Maybe you'll give out some secrets then. Other than that, I just want to thank, like Sean said earlier, thank the ROs, the volunteers that come out, help set up the match, all the sponsors.
Yeah,
we can't thank those guys enough between both ends of it. I mean, the ROs, the sponsors, Forest Lake Sportsman's Club, everybody that make it happen. It certainly would not be possible. I know that anybody else that's a part of a major match around the country knows exactly what we're talking about, and the people that don't, we encourage them to step up and RO. I mean, even at a local level, but especially at a major level, sometimes just you can kind of see what actually goes into it, and that it actually is a volunteer sport, and that we really need people that are continuing to help us out with it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Sean, you got anything? Final thoughts on this?
No, final thoughts are let's get in the comments here. This podcast. What do you guys think the top secret stage is going to be, or the top secret skill set?
Oh, the skill set, the old school 3-gun skill set.
Old school, baby.
I've got an idea. I'm gonna put it in the comments. So
let's see where you guys take this. That's what I'm interested in here.
Cool. Well, Chris, thanks for coming on, chatting with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks to everybody for listening. Like Sean said, comment below with with what your skill set thoughts are. And we will see you guys or talk to you guys next week and see you at the match.
Yep.